get some examples. Somebody can get the example of Kings. I believe it's Red. Is it Rehoboam?
Yeah, it was Rehoboam.
Solomon's son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, he took the counsel from his wicked friend instead of the counsel from the man that had been laboring and understood, the matters of dealing with the kingdom. We're gonna get some examples of what disorder brings forth. Okay. Whoever has that 1 Corinthians 14:40, they can read it.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40. And it says, let all things be done decently and in order.
Yep, so we read this all the time, and people just probably just take it for face value. Okay,
Right.
yeah, But no, that's a heavy thing. Without order, growth doesn't happen. Without order,
Right.
in an environment to where you can learn and not be, skewed by all this bullshit going on in the world, isn't created for you. So let's read that word order, and we'll dive into it.
You want it in the Greek, right? First.
Yeah, let me read the Greek verse.
Kind. This is that word order in 1 Corinthians 14:40, Strong's G 5010. All right. Taxes. Taxes. All right. It says in arrangement, order. It says a fixed succession. And it says observing a fixed time. It says due or right order, orderly condition.
Yeah. What I like right there is a fixed succession. Because a bunch of things come to mind when I hear this word, but you got a lot of guys who found out about this truth, and because their motive was to be the man, they didn't want to subscribe to the man that the Lord set up already ahead of them, so that they can grow thereby. You're entering into other men's labors, and a lot of guys, because their motivations in this thing isn't for righteousness to go forth, to receive salvation, for the kingdom of heaven to be established on earth, they do things that they ought not to.
Right.
You want to say you had something?
No.
Yep, so now read the word in the edible line.
Well,
And what you're saying right now, they came in out of order.
Yeah,
Straight out the gate, they say, okay, we don't want to get in order.
right. So how you gonna finish? You know what I mean?
You
gonna
can
do it.
straight away from the instructions.
You gonna do a 180 in the middle of the walk? Nah, man. You had something, Paul?
Yeah, I was going to grab that word succession, just for edification. It says a number, and this is on Google, it says a number of people or things sharing a specified characteristic and following one after the other. You know what I'm saying? That's that order. Starting with the, Elder Abba Bivens, trickling all the way down to what we have today, where the ministry has now grown and reached out through the four corners of the earth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But everything has to come up through a proper order. It's like it's almost like a pyramid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At the top is Yahweh Shai, and then the delegation goes down from there.
It has to be done. Like when you're building something, you got a blueprint. If you don't follow that blueprint to the T, that house ain't gonna stand. You understand? We've been given away. Just like prophecies. What? Prophecy has to happen in a particular. Everything about the Lord revolves around order. So if that's something that don't sit right with a man, he's not gonna be, somebody that really lasts too long in this thing. All right. So now.
Did you want that word in the etymology online?
Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah, we gonna read that.
I got that word in the etymology online. It's that word order. It says ordained. It says to give order, to arrange in a row or rank, set up or keep in order. It says to give commands, instruct authoritatively. Is that the word?
Authority.
Lord, too.
Yeah, authoritatively. Command to be made, done, or issued.
Yeah, man.
And I got the noun one right here.
Okay, you got the noun. That's the one I think.
That's the one you want?
Yeah.
Okay,
I read it.
Yeah, I got it. It's like I'll read it because I know it's from the one, so I just read it out. It says, body of person living under a religious discipline, position, estate, rule, regulation, religious order.
A religious discipline. Now, in order for you to even take commands and orders, right, you gotta have humility. You gotta be disciplined enough to understand, okay, this is a process that the Lord has me going through. This particular lessons I need to learn. And sometimes it's gonna be uncomfortable. Sometimes I might receive instruction harsh. Sometimes, instruction gonna come however the Lord needed to come for you at that time. A lot of dudes, they come out the world and they're not even used to a masculine presence in the first goddamn place.
Yeah.
So when they get it from the Lord, which is the most masculine environment you can be in, they feel like something's wrong, something off. They get offended, they want to scoff.
Straight up, straight up. Well, and the scriptures say, you know, and it's ultimately a mindset that you gotta have when you carry the Holy Spirit. The scriptures say to submit yourselves one to another. And it says, submit yourself to the elder. And then it says, submit yourselves one to another. So there, you have to have your flesh tossed to the side when you come in this thing. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, we all come from the world. You know, so we got to be cultivated in the spirit eventually.
Yeah.
You know, and then that example that you brought earlier before the camera started, that was a different case. You know, but as you learn to grow and get cultivated in the spirit, you learn to submit yourself one to another and understand that the spirit is in control of all things anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the bigger picture. And that's humility. You know, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself. You know what I'm saying? So if you do want to be great, through the spirit, we all want to be great. We all want to be in the kingdom. But there's a level of humility that has to be carried with that to get to that level.
You want to say something?
Oh, no, I was about to get precepts.
Somebody could get Proverbs 24 and 3 real quick. And then I want to go into that example with Rehoboam. And we're going to get the example in Numbers as well. Because like you just mentioned, you said, yeah, those men knew what was up. They had been doing in Numbers 3.
Yeah.
When they put up that strange fire, they knew what was up.
They were priests.
So yeah, so once you grow at a certain level with this thing, judgments on you gonna be harsher.
Right.
Because the Lord, like, nigga, you know better. You know, you first come in, you got that nigga residue on you. You gotta get rid of the inner nigga. You got that nigga residue on you. The Lord might wink at a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Show you a little grace, man. But you see men that's been laboring this thing, they know what's up and they do bullshit. Shit happen to them right away. Shit come down the pipe a little different. You know,
It's Proverbs chapter 15, starting verse 32. It says, he that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul, but he that heareth reproof getteth understanding. And that's what Jake don't realize. When you stray away from instruction, or you stray away from understanding, you got to get taught how to learn. The way we got brought up in the world is completely different versus the diligence we have to show within this ministry to serve the Heavenly Father, man.
That's right.
And then it goes into what you're going into, the order, man.
Yeah.
All right, you have to understand order and the importance of it, man. Okay, but it says the fear of the Lord is the fear of the fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. Back in the Torah.
That's it.
Before honor, all right, you have to go through that humiliation stage, so to speak, man.
And I also want to add to your point, when you stray from the instruction, you also straying away from the protection that the Lord is giving you. The Lord offers a protection on all of our lives through the instruction that He gives us. And when you push that to the side, you open for attack, spiritual and carnal. You see? Okay, I asked for
I got it.
Okay,
Proverbs
yeah.
24:3.
24 and 3.
Okay.
Come.
This is Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 3. Through wisdom is an house builded, and by understanding it is established.
Verse 4.
Verse 4. And by knowledge shall the chambers be filled with all precious and pleasant riches.
Mm-hmm. So you part of the building, man, you got instruction is involved in that. Instruction isn't, we're building. We always talk about, hey man, watch how you're building. Again, there's a lot of people with fringes on that are not keeping in mind how they're building. You got dudes who put all these gimmicks in the forefront of their ministry, and the people that they're bringing in, the energy that they're pushing out is making this thing about something else. You got people trying to mix this thing of ours with black culture. Are you keeping in mind how you're building when you mixing black culture with this spiritual thing of ours? No. You got high priest Crips. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Nigga, I forgot. The same nigga compared, the different camps to gang banging. You're mixed. What, nigga? I was so just irritated. This nigga make me itch whenever he talk. But yeah, you read that again. Proverbs 24 and 3.
Come. Proverbs chapter 24 again and verse 3. It says, through wisdom is an house builded, and by understanding it is established.
Okay, so I wanted to get that. You're going to get your precept. But after we read that, I want to segue in the example with Rehoboam. To show you when you disregard that wisdom. You had something too? When you disregard. Okay, come. So when you disregard that wisdom, look at the consequences that can unfold when you disregard it. All right? You got it, Joe. You got a precept, man.
Oh yeah, God, I'll bring this out really quick. You know, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 7. And it says, and the Apostle Paul is using examples of an instrument right here, you know, but we want to make sure that, you know, we're all giving the same sound. You know what I'm saying? As the, you know, you're going into your lesson right now, that's an unfamiliar sound.
Yeah.
You know, but 1 Corinthians 14 and 7, it says, and even these things without life give sound, whether pipe or harp, except they give a distinction in the sound. How shall it be known what is piped or harp? For if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle? You know, so it's just pretty much, again, being in order. You know what I'm saying? If you're not in order, then you can come off as that unfamiliar sound, that strange sound, and that can get the whole squad killed. Because he used the trumpet as an example for the battle. And if it's soldiers coming in from an invading city and you playing, you know, the Sabbath sound,
Yeah.
people gonna think it's the Sabbath and rest.
Yeah.
But really, you can get ready to be pillaged and
Yeah.
destroyed because of that sound that's made, that unfamiliar sound. You know, so gotta be in order, because if you ain't in order, that can get the whole squad wet. You
You
know?
got blood on your hands, you blowing an uncertain sound.
That's right, bro.
Yeah, you done made everybody relax in the time of danger.
When they're
Right.
supposed to be, you know, ready. Come on, man. But the closer we get to the threshold of the kingdom being established, we're seeing more and more examples of that. Like damn near every day. All right, so now we can get the example with Rehoboam. You know, I think you can start at the top. Yeah, go find a good spot and start from here.
This is the book of 1 Kings chapter 12 and verse 2. And it came to pass when Jeroboam the son of Nebat was yet in Egypt, heard of it, for he was fled from the presence of King Solomon, and Jeroboam dwelt in Egypt, that they sent and called him, and Jeroboam and all the congregation of Israel came and spake unto Rehoboam, saying, Your father has made our yoke grievous. Therefore make thou the grievous service of thy father, and his heavy yoke which he put upon us lighter, and we will serve thee.
Yeah, man, lighten up the load for us, you know, to change the power. You know, we're gonna serve you.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? We still down with you, but you know, make our lives a little bit easier. We family. You know what I mean? So let's hey, Shalom. So continue reading.
Verse 5, and he said unto them, Depart yet for 3 days, then come again unto me. And the people departed.
Right, so he's on the right track. He said, let me think about it. Let me get some counsel, right? Because that's an orderly thing to do. Let me get some counsel first before I make a decision. And they was cool with that. They were like, that makes sense. Cool, we'll be back in 3 days. You know? So go ahead, brother.
Verse 6, and King Rehoboam consulted with the old men that stood before Solomon his father while he yet lived, and said, How do ye advise that I may answer this people?
Now he consulted with the old men that was before, you know, Solomon was tripping in his old age, right? But imagine all the wisdom and things they had got insight into serving under Solomon.
When he was in his prime.
Right.
Yeah, when he was in his
You
prime.
think these men don't have any wise counsel from on high to give you?
Exactly. That's right.
Think about it. Go ahead, you go
I was
ahead.
about to say but there was that to not only hear the counsel but see the examples. For example, when he had the 2 women with the child,
Yeah.
they was there to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they sat at Solomon's table, like they was there to hear the inside scoop of, you know, his thoughts.
Yeah.
You know, so they was there. So they experienced it.
That was the main part of his fame was his wisdom.
Right. Yeah, so you know about off the rip, these men was on a high level. So he on the right track. Let's see what the old man had to say. Let's see what the aged man had to say.
Verse 7, and they spake unto him, saying, If thou wilt be a servant unto this people this day, and will serve them and answer them, and speak good words to them, then they will be your servants forever.
Boom. Hey, you take the load today, it's gonna benefit you in the long run. What the scripture say? What can somebody get a prudent man for a sea of evil? You know what I mean? Yeah.
29?
They understood. They thought about how the ending of a thing.
Yeah.
So they giving them the right counsel right here. Read it again while that brother find the precept.
Then they spake unto him, saying, If thou wilt be a servant unto this people this day, and will serve them and answer them, and speak good words unto them, then they will be thy servants forever.
Then they will be thy servants forever. Wise counsel, right? Now you got yours over there, brother? The Proverbs?
Yeah, I'm looking for it
I
right
got
now.
it. I got it right.
Twenty-
Whoever got it.
22 and 3.
Whoever got it.
Yeah, yeah, Kawhi.
Whoever
That
got
was
it.
22.
Whoever got it.
I read it. This Proverbs 22 and 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself,
Mhm.
but the simple pass on and are punished.
All right, now I want you to jump down with the example Rehoboam. We're going to see whose counsel he took, because he got counsel from another. Let's see which one he decided to go with.
So you want me to jump down?
Yeah, wherever it's at. It might be, you might just need to keep reading, it's fine.
Oh yeah, come. The next verse, verse 8. But he forsook the counsel of the old man which they had given him, and consulted with the young man that was grown up with him, and which stood before him.
Now, this young man know more. Like, what? Y'all grew up together. Y'all on the same, you know what I mean? What the hell you seeking counsel from him? But he didn't hear the answer he wanted, wanted. So he finna go with this nigga, who's clearly a nigga. All right? But go ahead, brother, you got it.
And he said unto them, no. Verse 10. No, it's like in verse 9. And he said unto them, what counsel give ye me, that we may answer this people who have spoken to me, saying, make the yoke which thy father did put upon us lighter. Verse 10. And the young man that was grown up with him spake unto him, saying, thus shalt thou speak unto this people that spake unto me, saying, thy father made our yoke heavy, but maketh thou lighter unto us. Thus shalt thou say unto them, my little finger shall be thicker than my father's loins.
He wanted to seem like the big G. Yeah, I'm finna let these niggas know about me. Yeah. And, like a powerful spirit. So he took that disorderly counsel, and what did that all lead to, brothers? What did this decision lead to?
Split.
Yeah, where
The
we at right
split.
now?
Nigga fuck everything up. We had 40 years apiece, and you just threw that shit all down the drain.
Because you chose not order.
I got a precept.
Both of y'all got it.
Sirach 10 and 21, it says, the fear of the Lord goeth before the obtaining of authority, but roughness and pride is the losing thereof. You got it.
Yeah, that's we just read a perfect example of that. He didn't use wisdom. He got offered the wisdom. It's Jake that coming to this truth, and they got all these examples on how to walk orderly and how it can be beneficial to their life. But they choose to do something else.
Yeah.
So hey,
Especially when you have men that have experience and who could tell they've walked and traveled that path that you're going down.
yeah. The same as those aged men that he got counsel from.
Yeah.
They knew damn well, like, hey, bro, we know for sure the decision you should make.
Yeah, they had it in the bag.
Like, we're not guessing. I'm not
That-
guessing.
Hearing that counsel would have saved Israel's whole situation.
Come
Just
on.
taking heed to wisdom.
Yeah, you got it.
But you even see that in modern times, though, with like a lot of these groups, they camp leaders is the likes of BOW, the young guy Yarazan, what is Sharian? But WFI Israelites, the head is Naquan. But his young man who been there just a couple of years.
Is that automatic?
Yeah, Adam Adams.
Okay, all right.
But you have groups who listen and they get counsel from younger men who really haven't been around. Man, this brother Asma Watt was talking today. We're just saying how we was blessed just being a council of men who've been experienced because they tell us what not to do, what to do. You have men who haven't even been around, they don't even know the ropes of it. But that's the same thing. They haven't really been around.
Yeah.
They grew up with Rehoboam.
That's right. That's right.
And they choosing that counsel. Now, our apostles and elders told us 1,000 times, we ain't got no business debating these niggas. They want to come talk, they come stand in front of us.
Right, yeah. If I may, that's the thing too, because you have elders and apostles actually spitting knowledge and dropping knowledge about it, but they don't want to take heed. And again, it's going into the lack of experience, like you're saying right there. They think they got it.
Yeah.
I do got a quick one, real quick though. This is Sirach chapter 8, verse 8. It says, despise not the discourse of the wise, but acquaint thyself with their proverbs. For of them thou shalt learn instruction, and how to serve great men with ease. So that's how you become great in the spirit, just by taking heed to what these men are saying. And being brothers, being surrounded by brothers, and that's a constant flow of information and wisdom that's being given. And you got those great men around you. I mean, shoot, that's how you grow.
Yep, and sometimes the advice they give you, it doesn't match with how you think it should go with your flesh. But when it's all said and done, you're like, damn, he was right.
That's the account he was just reading about Jeroboam, Rehoboam.
Yeah.
That's right.
He didn't get the counsel he wanted, so we gonna talk to a nigga.
And it had to be such a problem that, again, those men sat with Solomon his whole tenure. Don't you didn't think that, oh, these men, they know what they're talking about. They're speaking from experience.
Right. That's right. Absolutely.
All right, so that's all. You got some more on that?
Yeah, I got one more verse on it.
Yeah, I think Paul had one, right? You have one, Paul? Okay.
Yeah, he read
No,
this
it's
right
I
before.
you.
So this is verse 9. It says, miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learned of their fathers. And of them thou shalt learn understanding, and to give answer as need required. You know, just to add to that, if I may, you know, the scriptures say that we've entered into other man's labors. You know, so these are men that are experienced in this labor, and they can give wise counsel on how you can do your labors. You know, and there's more to it, of course. If you don't take heed to that, it's really foolish.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of shoot yourself in the foot doing that. You know,
You trying to figure out, how to build a house. You never did it before.
never did it before.
But you got an architect here who's telling you, hey, you do this, you got to make sure you can do this to the foundation. It's fucked up, it ain't gonna work. And you like, no, I'm gonna figure it out myself. I got it.
That's crazy.
That's what this nigga did. That's what a lot of people with fringes don't do.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, now you had some out of the
I actually had the same verse the preacher R had, but I got it in G and T.
Yeah.
This
I had a feeling you had the same verse. Hell, yeah.
This Sirach chapter 8, I'm gonna start at verse 8, points in, well, both verses 8 and 9. It says in the G&T, do not disregard what the wise have said. Study their proverbs. From them you can learn to be cultured and to serve great people. Pay attention to what old people say, for they learn from those who came before them. You can learn from them, and they can teach you how to have an answer ready when you need one.
You got it.
Oh, I mean, you already broke it down.
Yeah, so we went into it now. You got to think. When Solomon was coming on the throne, what was his mindset? Give me a wise and understanding heart so I can judge this so great a people. He was ready to walk orderly. Again, order is a protection from destruction. You don't realize the whole world, it's Jacob versus the world. Everybody's against us. Don't you want protection on this spiritual battlefield? Right? So with that,
I got one real
Okay,
quick.
cool.
This is now remember Alazar brought out that the apostles should retire.
Yeah, I remember that.
Now when you get Numbers the 8th chapter, there were certain duties that the priest would, as far as sacrificial duties, laborers duties that they were retired from. But peep how it goes. This is the book of Numbers the 8th chapter, in the 23rd verse in the NLT. The Lord also instructed Moses, this is the rule the Levites must follow. They must begin serving in the tabernacle at the age of 25, and they must retire at the age of 50. After retirement, they may assist their fellow Levites by serving as guards in the tabernacle. So they're basically advising the younger.
Right.
All right.
Counselor, what's the word Apostle Rikai used? A counselor. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. That's it. That's it. So they still assist.
That's about it, man. I'm retired, so I'm leaving.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm 52, so I'm leaving.
See, but they were still, you know what I'm saying? Because the younger, because the sacrifice, that, like even on the Day of Atonement, they talk about it, you gotta be strong to get, you know what I'm saying? So the sacrificial aspect was for the younger men, you know what I'm saying? The hard labor. But at 50, like, it would be like chill from that. But you still officiate them on how to conduct certain services and everything.
And they gonna seek that because they like, there's certain things I haven't encountered before. I mean, read about it. It's a difference between reading you ever try to put some shit together without the manual? It's a difference between reading something and somebody being there that knows how to do it. It's a complete difference. So why wouldn't you take that counsel, man? And that's gonna get a lot of Jake killed because they follow behind people who are walking in that disorderly mindset.
I was just thinking about that earlier, man. Like, you know, man, like, these heads that's over these people, man. That's why I thank God for the apostles, man. Thank you how much me on set for the apostles, because these heads over these people, they gonna really get a lot of people killed, man. And a lot of people that know they Israel, They're gonna get a lot of people that know they Israel killed. You know?
Hey,
Did you see the video? I did a video on it. We did a video on it before we got here. You said the video Apostle Tahar put up. Like Apostle Tahar wasn't on the video, but he put it up on his page. You know, y'all know his Apostle Tahar page with the video. You got some nigga, he was one of them other Israelite groups. At first I said, that's that ISUPK, but nah, I know it's not them, because they don't get along, UPK and IUIC. I'm gonna show y'all, I'll show you. Basically, the dude was like, yo, why is some little weasel looking nigga, right? You know, he's an Israelite dude, one of them other camps. Yo, we brought them in our school. We brought them in our school. That's stuff that we took a picture together.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, that was Believers of the Way. That
Okay.
happened a while back, though. Right?
That was like 2 years.
I didn't know
Yeah, it
that.
was early. It was
that was this year.
Yeah, it was
Was
early.
it this year?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I was on
5
the
months
until
ago.
today.
They got mad that IUIC told them to take the picture down.
Yeah. But that show you. But you know what? I was mad at the dude. Believers in the Way, whatever the fuck they are. They simple-minded niggas too, man. Because why y'all even fucking with them? Y'all doing your own thing. Y'all got your own thing, your own school, church, whatever. If you got faith in the Lord, just do your own thing. Like, fuck all that kumbaya shit, man.
He wanted to show them.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now, Apostle.
And that dude's a young man. I got this real quick.
Come on.
This is 1 Timothy 3 and 6 in the NLT. An elder must not be a new believer. And a lot of these new dudes like to get that title, elder. You know what I'm saying? Because he might become proud and the devil will cause him to fall.
Yeah, that's it. They don't know the full parameters of even being in that position. You know, when you're in a leadership position, bro, that's a stressful, energy draining, because you're responsible. You're watching for the souls of other men. It's yeah.
It's
that
the experience you have to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was designed for you to suffer first. You know, that's why Sirach too. When I come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. Because coming into the truth, you're already a leader over who? The people that's coming in after you. You know, even on the lowest level, you're a leader, and you're just being refined into a better leader. Your whole walk in the truth. You know, but yeah, man, like these a lot of these young guys, they don't have the experience to lead other men. You know, and then while they're leading other men, they're teaching them more mistakes than growth.
Yeah.
That's what I'm about. How long you been in the truth?
From
16, 17 years?
From 2007 to now is how long?
I'm not good with math.
17 years.
17 years.
18
Man, how long you been in the truth?
The same. I can
17. Y'all all came around the same time. Y'all were young men coming in. Older men, y'all it happened that way because we wasn't out here with y'all. Y'all saw us on the internet. And then y'all, we endorsed y'all to teach. So y'all had to kind of, back when the artist formerly known was here and blah, 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 and you had the same situation out there. Y'all had to be put in a situation where y'all had to become, and y'all were young men. Right? You were young dudes coming in, right?
Yeah.
So y'all had no choice. Y'all can say, brothers, the Spirit brought brothers together that we got to go out and teach. And for y'all, it was, what they say, on the fly.
Yeah. Learning on the fly.
Y'all was learning on the fly. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? All the other brothers that was there, y'all designed Bonsapod and the brothers came along later. But y'all was learning on the fly. Same with y'all, on the fly. But then y'all grew into y'all positions. A lot of turmoil and hell and.
Yeah, some people they want to skip the nourishment aspect. They want to skip the titty, which is the sincere milk, and jump straight to being an adult. And then ultimately you don't have the experience, you don't have the, not granted, the Lord can put the Spirit on anyone. But there's a method to how you become a leader.
Yeah, and the scriptures say meat belonging to them are full of age. So if you just come into the truth and you a leader, you a babe. You ain't even eating meat yet. You don't even have the full understanding of what's going on. So of course if you start your own group or whatever, then you're gonna be the top guy, but you're not an elder. You know what I'm saying? You just a brother that's working your way up the ranks. People and that title shit, that wanting the title shit, it's gonna get a lot of people destroyed because you're leading off with pride. You know, hey, when you come to serve the Lord, you're supposed to come in humility. You know, like a lot of people, they, oh yeah, I know this right. I know a few scriptures. Yeah, I'm bringing these people in, but you don't have the experience, man. And then you bring these guys in, and the toil of working with other men, you know, it becomes a situation to where you're not leading them the right way. Either you're trying to be cool with everybody, trying to be PC with everybody, you know, and not rebuking them, or you being an over. What is it?
Overbearing, lording over.
Yeah, lording over men. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to establish some power. You know what I'm saying? That you haven't earned yet.
Yep.
You know.
Taking your self-esteem issues and out of it and using the truth as a means to deal with it.
Your relationship issues, your personal life.
Well, one nigga come to mind, chiefly, Chief High Priest Alizé. Okay, him, that demon.
He got issues. He got issues with male authority.
Yep.
Israelite male authority. Jacob listened to Esau. But that's his issue. You can see.
Don't straight up and down. He got all kinds. He got mama issues, daddy issues. He got issues with himself because he's so light skinned. You know what I mean? He looks like an Arab. but that. He's a prime example.
Right.
He's a prime. They're more, but he's a prime
and
example.
they use that low self-esteem or whatever issue they have to fulfill it, but now so on the right-hand side, and they're being tacky. And the Lord is eventually going to deal with it.
Oh, God.
So their agenda isn't to forward the will of the husband, it's to forward their own shit. If you come in this thing and your main motivation is to be the man, the Lord going to expose your ass because you're not about what he about.
Yeah.
So that's a point that's been reoccurring that we've been bringing up. You have one?
Come. Hebrews chapter 5 verse 13 through 14. For everyone that uses milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe. But strong meat belongeth to them that are of full age, even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil.
I mean, I say this too. Now, we know that's talking about the scriptures, right? The meat, the strong meat, we know that's talking about heavy understanding of the scriptures, right?
Right.
But there's more to that too. Milk, like, brothers that's just coming in the truth, new, you still learning, right? But also, just to add, another thing that's added to that, that's also dealing with experience. Apostle Paul always says that. Y'all know that. Nothing beats experience. Right? You know what I mean? Right? Nothing experience. Along with knowing the scriptures, understanding the scriptures, experience and, bro, catching hell. That's all a part of that too. That strong meat is scripture, but it's that strong hell that comes along with it. Different things happening to you in your life, man. You know what I mean? Catching pure fucking hell.
That's Sirach too.
Yeah.
Sirach too.
Hey, that's the spirit. I was just quoted before the brother came in. He came back right here.
You brothers understand? Some of you younger brothers that's coming up in this thing, in the camp here, right? This is where we are right now. Some of you younger brothers, real talk. Some of you brothers, we got brothers as officers. In this camp, boy, to become an officer in this camp, boy, you gotta be prudent, man. That's a hard hustle. You guys that have that rank in this camp. But these elders ain't playing. Why? Because of experience. Because they've already been down that road with different niggas coming and going, and certain niggas was getting put in there too quick. So it's a learning thing.
Mm-hmm.
You brothers that are soldiers, don't feel no kind of way, man. Like, me and the elder Yeshua, it was heavy last night at the camp, which camp last night was the bomb, man. Mm-hmm. And we was talking right after camp, after we saluted out, and I don't know if I said it, I don't remember if I mentioned it to him or he mentioned it to me. We was talking, I said, yo, man, you know what? Because, you know, you got, you know, we have delegates in town, the elder D-Mash, the elder Yagadal, you know what I mean? And, you know, brothers, you know, you brothers coming from Houston, Apostle Ron Bob was here. So I was like, and camp was so spiritual and heavy. So I was like, yeah, man, you know what, brother, tomorrow, man, maybe we have all the brothers come. Because it's going to be spiritual. And, you know, like maybe we just make, fuck it, let's tell everybody to come.
Yeah.
You know, and then we talked about it, and he said, okay, we're going to do it, you know? And that's why the younger brothers, you know, usually we have y'all come once a month. But, hey, man, you brothers, don't, like, I'm not saying y'all are, but I'm just throwing it out there in the spirit, man. Don't worry about becoming a fucking officer, man. Okay? Hold down your positions. Just, hey, man, worry about where you at, and just, yo, strive for the mastery, man. Just worry about being happy where you at, man.
The Lord will exalt you in due time.
Come on.
Because what the brother's going into is order. The order is coming in as a servant. The men that get raised up, because, man, everything happens, it's orders from the heaven, but it get carried out through spiritual men. So we see the men that are in a position, okay, all this brother do is serve. All this brother is take care of his obligations through the spirit. He's always, hey, that brother's showing that he needs to be raised up in rank. Not the man who's seeking preeminence.
All right. So anybody else have something before we go to Matthew the 25th chapter? You got it? You got it?
Just to land back over what the apostle was saying, this is Ecclesiastes 1:18. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increases knowledge increases sorrow.
Yeah.
So just, you know, going into what he said, you know, we're saying in the world, you know, being too big for your britches, you know, trying to fit shoes that are too big for you. Ultimately, you know, you have to take steps. You can't skip over certain stuff, you know, and you know, it's like anything else. Like growing up, like a child, everything else is like you have to pace yourself. You know, you can get yourself in a situation like you said, you wind up, you know, being in a situation of getting a brother injured, or you know, being in a situation that's going to be detrimental to you or the body or even the ministry at that point. So you just have to be mindful of what you're doing.
Yeah. You got men. All right. Take this into account. There's certain things our apostles went through, elder men in this room went through, and it wasn't even for their sakes. Yeah. It was for the younger brothers that's coming in. They could get counsel from men that actually went through what they're going through. They can say, hey, brothers, I'm talking from experience. I'm not guessing. Don't do this shit, because this, and that's going to happen. Right?
I remember Elder Ariana brought this out to some brothers a while back. As far as you being a brother that's counseling a younger brother. You know what I'm saying? Because like you just said, we go through things so that everybody can benefit from it. You know what I'm saying? So Ariana, when he's talking to a brother, he'll be like, okay, that same thing happened to me. This is how I felt. This is what I did. You know what I'm saying? And he's giving you a step-by-step of how he grew in that particular situation. You know? And he was in the spirit when he was going into that. Because to this day, I still do that. Because, bro, I know where you're coming from, bro. I get it. This is why, you know what I'm saying? And then you explain step by step how it go. And then before you know it, you're going to be doing that for somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember being tied to the hip with Sha'ar. I remember being tied to the hip with Tazama. I remember being tied to the hip with Michael Allah, all the brothers. You know what I'm saying? And they done seen my dirty draws too. It ain't like I was perfect in none of that. You know what I'm saying? So, listen to what's being said. You learn these things so you can teach these things. You know what I'm saying? And you can't teach these things until you learn them and live by it. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you to do something. I'm not going to tell you to do something I haven't done. I'm not going to advise you on something. If I don't got no experience on that, I'm going to point you to a brother that do. But we all learn all these things so we continue to build each other up. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is all about.
Got a quick precept for you real quick. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 10. And it says, therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake. And this is the Apostle Paul writing a letter to Timothy, who was being prepped up to be a leader of a church, a bishop. You know, so he's saying what everybody's saying right now. Look, you're going to have to endure all things. That way these brothers can be built up in the faith. So it says, therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they also may obtain the salvation which is in Mashiach, Yahushua, with eternal glory. So it comes to having to endure whatever comes your way. You know, because again, certain things might not even be meant for you. It might be meant for the next person to go through. and you gotta feel it to give that experience or advice with it, you know?
That's
Just
why
like
it's
John
important.
17.
That's why it's important to focus on how you react to a situation than the hurt that comes with it. You know, because people around you are watching you go through it, so they're also watching how you react. Are you overreacting? Because they're gonna mimic you.
Yeah, they trying to see how to react.
It's just like when the Lord prayed, just like to back up what you just said, the Lord prayed in John 17 for the disciples to have what it takes to get to the end, and the people that come behind them to be able to do it too. And we the people that come behind them.
It's like raising children, real talk. It's like raising children. Hey man, you brothers that are leaders, man, basically the men under you are like your children. You know, they're like your children, man. You know? That's why, let's say, for instance, the so-called black community today, as they always say, right, all these influencers and these different people, right? Yeah, man, the black community is effed up, man, because the single, you know, what they call it, single mother, single parent home. But it is true. It's the truth, right? Not just boys, girls too.
Right, they're mimicking how they see their mother react.
Come on.
They do that out in the world.
Come on.
And that shit is that leads
The black woman, we got to get on the black woman, right? But all these black, but in a way, it is kind of sad because all these little ratchet Keishas and Big Shirleys or whatever, they never stood a chance. They never stood a chance. So really, it's really not their fault. Their behavior is not their fault. It's the mother. Look on YouTube and look at all them videos of the cops rolling up on these little niggas in the streets. And then the cops, right, they grab these little stupid niggas acting crazy, got them hemmed up in the police car, and then who come out? Some Big Shirley or Keisha arguing with the cops. My child is not a problem child. Boom, big problem right there.
There you see where it comes from.
You see where it comes from. Not every black child, some Big Shirley screaming at the cops. And then the cops will knock her upside the head and arrest her ass, right?
Then everybody marching.
Yeah, everybody marching.
Yeah,
but you see, but it's a learned behavior. That's the only reason I brought that up. It's a learned behavior. So, Yahweh Shah spoke on that. So is the shepherd, so is the sheep. So, when you bring it to the truth, if you got a camp, let's say if we had a GMS camp that's out of order, right? The first people we're gonna look at is the leaders of the camp. Now, there's some crazy shit. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can have good leadership, but you just got certain crazy niggas in here. I'm talking about GMS. Y'all know how many dudes have to get kicked out or suspended, and sometimes Satan jump on brothers and it might be good leadership, the camp leader, right? But maybe this particular Jake had personal issues that brothers didn't know about and went out and did some crazy shit, right? But for the most part, it don't work that way. More when shit all kind of you hear them reports and them brothers over there, yo man, you know what I mean? We gotta look at the leadership first, man.
But Apostle, if the leadership is given the right direction, doing the right thing, but it's the certain of the followers that ain't following it, you know, it don't really fall on the leadership all the time. But it does fall on the leadership as far as making sure either you gotta suspend that guy, or you might have to consider getting rid of him. You might just be a bad seed. You know, because if you're doing your job, you know, it's just like can't nobody say that we ain't set the right example. You know, that we ain't tell brothers the right thing to do. Show them the scriptures, show them how to, conduct themselves. You know, but if you don't follow that, that guideline, then that falls on you. And eventually you just might be that bad seed. I'm not saying you, brother. That just happened to be pointing that way, you be like,
I got a mix-up for you. This is Ezekiel 13:4 in the NLT. Then if those who hear the alarm refuse to take action, it is their own fault they died. They heard the alarm but ignored it, so the responsibility is theirs.
Who's that? That's my Ezekiel 33?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what, NLT?
Yeah, yeah. And it's talking about, warning in the sense of prophecy, but ultimately that's a leader.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He gave you the instruction, he gave you the but you didn't take heed, so that's on you.
It's only so much you could do.
It's only
That's why eventually you gotta consider this guy gotta go.
Yeah.
Now you might be really cool with that brother.
Yeah.
But remember what the scriptures say, if that right eye offend thee, pluck it out. That right arm offend thee, pluck it out. It's better for you to go into the kingdom halt and maimed than to go in whole and be destroyed. Because if you have a bad seed in the camp, you're gonna corrupt everybody else.
Yeah.
And because you love that brother so much, you're willing to sacrifice the whole camp over him?
Or even suspension.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you might have to, hey man, like, hey man, Elder D, I ain't trying to put you on the spot.
No.
This elder right here went through some shit.
I
He
love
ain't a
that
bad
story.
seed. This brother's a man of the Lord. And I believe this brother.
Oh yeah.
And y'all know this is my road dog. This is my partner, right? I love this brother to death. This is a few years back. He went through some troubles in the camp or whatever. And I guess the other day, we had to suspend this brother.
Yeah.
Right? But they came to me with it. I know the bishop, this is when I was back up top. I know Bishop Nadazak and some of the other elder bishops. So yeah, man, D-man, you got to suspend it. And pretty much I had to be they came to me to confirm it, right? So I pretty much, I had to sign off on it.
Yeah.
Like if I would have said, nah, brother, no, they wouldn't have, wouldn't have suspended him.
Yeah.
But they explained it to me, I was like, it broke my heart, but I was like, yeah, man, you suspended that.
Yeah. Hey, I love that story because man, I was overwhelmed. I was like, man, I was truly, I needed that time to myself. So like, because you bog down, you're looking at everybody else, but your self-work, your house is falling, your house is falling in, but you're trying to fix everybody else's house. Sometimes you gotta work. You need time to work on yourself, man.
Catch that beam out of the eye first.
Yeah, hey, Lord will isolate you if you get to the point where you're not working on yourself.
Yeah. Lord will ice you.
Ice you.
He raising up judges.
Yeah.
We learning how to be judges.
Yeah,
so if you can't judge a small situation, you're not gonna be able to judge a big situation.
Yeah.
And throughout this body, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, so many situations have come up that we've been delivered from to where it boosts us even more. And that same thing is gonna happen to everybody in this walk. You know what I'm saying? Everybody still learns something every day.
Yeah.
And I love that story. He was like, nah, well,
I don't want y'all to look at the
I love that story because it made me better. That situation, it made me better, bro. Like it made me a better brother, a better leader. You know what I'm saying? It made me really, watch my steps more, man. So, hey, I remember I came to New York and told you, man. I was like, man, Tawada, for suspending me, man, because. Sometimes you need a moment.
That was the last brother I wanted to have to suspend.
Hey, be like that sometimes.
Suspend, man. It hurt me, man. I felt some kind of way, but I had to do it.
Yeah, and then that is a thing of growth.
Yeah.
It's a growth. Because the scriptures say what? Rebuke a wise man, you will become yet wiser. So if you are a man of the Lord and you get suspended or you get rebuked or whatever, you're going to consider, okay, well, what am I doing wrong? Okay, how can I fix it? Because if you don't consider it, guess what? The next step is out that door.
Yeah, and let a brother smite me. It should be a kindness to me. Because you'd rather for a brother to rebuke you than the Lord get to your ass. When the Lord get to you, hey, your head's gonna roll.
Man, look. But y'all think we all haven't been through it? And shit, bro, years ago. Still back in the night, at least twice Apostle Tahar took my rank. But I deserved it. But I got it back.
Yeah, I
You know what I mean? Because y'all know, I was wilding the fuck out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey, there's been many times I've been on that goddamn roast, that spit.
Man.
Just, like, damn. Just rolling, just going round and round.
Rotisserie.
Like 2 seconds away from the flame.
There was one particular night, I ain't gonna go into details, me and Apostle Kavod, we came and laid into this brother.
Oh yeah.
This apostle. We looked like he was on the couch. We came and laid into him, man. Over a situation.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But he took it.
Oh yeah. I'm talking about just digging in like, damn. Mercy, goddamn.
Just when you thought it was over.
But you know
that was many years ago, back in the 90s, man. These stories are from the 90s.
Yeah. But it was necessary. See, sometimes, you get to a point, you could baby a guy, right? And then he'll kind of come around, but then he'll still be doing the same shit. Or you can get in his ass, and then he'll become better. But if you baby somebody, what does Scripture say about coddling your child?
Oh, yeah.
You know, he gonna bring you to shame. You know, you can't do that. Sometimes you gotta be hard and firm, but at the same time, you gotta know who to be hard with and who to be medium with, who to be, you know, play kid gloves with. It all depends on the situation and the spirit of the man that you're dealing with.
Discernment.
Hey, like that movie Excalibur, was it?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Remember he said he never learned to read the hearts of men.
Yeah.
You know?
Luther Pendragon.
You gotta know who you have in your camp.
Yeah.
You know what spirit you're dealing with. And you know by interactions, okay, I can be hard on this brother, but on this brother I gotta, you know, take it a little easy.
Cutting the lights, cutting the lights.
Yeah, cut on the lights. White on, cut on the lights. Don't cut on the lights.
Yeah, this is around the time when demons start coming out.
Let me ask you one about in a few minutes. Me and you and Apostle Ron Live, Elder Gideon, you know, we're gonna lead these brothers and make a little move in the back. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, it's flowing in here.
Yeah, it's hot.
It's hot here, so in a way we can stay. I mean,
Nah, it's whatever.
now you know what, man? The spirit is flowing. We'll play by the spirit.
God, you want it Matthew 25 and 7?
Yeah, we're gonna get to Matthew 25 and 7. We also gonna get the example in Numbers 3.
Right.
All right, because we're gonna do a compare and contrast of walking orderly and walking disorderly, and what's the end of both choices that you make. We already got the example with Rehoboam. He took the counsel from his homeboy over the man that sat at Solomon's table. So you saw what happened to him. What happened to the whole nation because of his ass. Split, right? So Matthew 25, and you pick a good spot, but I wanted that word trim in verse 7.
I'm kind of feeling the spirit in here right now.
Yep, this is Matthew 25 and 7. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps.
All right, these are the virgins that was in that upright spirit. Now they trimmed their lamps, man. All right, we want to be a part of those upright virgins. Now if you look up that word trim, you know.
Yep, it's cosmeo. It says to put in order, to arrange, make ready. The bride had made herself ready.
You know that word cosmeo, that's where you get the word cosmetics.
Cosmetics, like she beautified herself.
Yes. And the cosmetics or the face painting, so to speak, is the scriptures. You know, you got different scriptures. You know how the scriptures speak about the armor, the helmet, the shield, you know, and all of that. That's all part of it. And, you know, it's food, it's drink, it's you know, it's adornments, shields, weapons. It's all part of the scriptures.
Weapons.
Yeah, if I can get to my weapons.
That's an inside joke.
I went to this man's army because I wanted to see how bad he was.
Because the bride is, she's making herself ready, bathing in the oils. The oil is the truth as well. She's basically making herself to where she's fit to be received of her husband.
Remember the women back then, 12 months. I'm sorry, brother. Remember back then, 12 months, they had to be bathed before they could be presented before the king.
That's crazy. The root word is cosmos. That we for the world.
Which is world organization. And you know, an organization, an arrangement.
The bride.
You can have different cosmos. But what cosmos did the Lord die for? The cosmos of Israel. You know?
Yep. It says cosmeo, to put in order, arrange, make ready, prepare, ornament, adorn, metaphorically, to embellish with honor, gain honor.
That's what I wanted, to embellish with honor and to gain honor. All right? The Lord likens us unto his woman, right? What's the purpose of your wife? She's your helpmate. She's supposed to forward your will in the earth. A lot of guys come in the truth, they're not thinking about forwarding the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. They want to be that nigga.
Yeah, this thing is popping right now.
Right.
He's a chief priest example.
The Crip chief high priest.
Yeah, Crip. He got on me about a biker jacket.
Both of them?
He got on me about a goddamn biker jacket, but now he's a Crip.
Right.
Right? You hear that shit? Hypocrisy.
Crazy.
And it's how it's formed.
That's nasty work.
Nasty.
Throwing up Crip signs and Crips walking in.
Okay. All right. So look, there's a particular order that's laid before us that we gotta walk in. Dudes don't consider like, damn, am I fit? Am I made up how the Lord would want me to be? Am I forwarding His will in the earth?
There's no fear of the Lord.
You don't fear Him.
Because during that betrothal period, the bride, she would be preparing herself.
Yeah.
So what does he like to cook? What smells does he like? She would be preparing herself for that when they came together, she was everything he asked for.
And you brought this point up before.
Yeah.
All right, the best man, so to speak,
Yeah.
will be coaching on hey,
Yeah.
this, know this, you like this.
Yeah.
All right, there's people on the earth, whether you believe it or not, that are very close with Yahweh Shah.
Yeah.
And they've been put in front of you
Yeah.
so you can be coached up in the spirit.
The friend of the bridegroom is what it's called in the scriptures. And John the Baptist was basically the friend of the bridegroom, which represented the prophets, because after him came, the disciples, what I'm saying? And ultimately, they're responsible for keeping the bride. While it's a betrothal period, the best man will be the one who communicates what the husband wants to the family of the bride, so that she can, you know what I'm saying? He was very important to the wedding, you know what I'm saying? And that's the prophets, you know what I'm saying? His friend, his best friend was ultimately the best man. That's a ancient order, you know what I'm saying? John the Baptist, the friend of the bride. I don't know if somebody want to get it.
I got it.
That's technically what's happening. That's what the role we're playing. As the men of the Lord, we're keeping, like Paul said, I'm jealous over you with godly jealousy, because I'll espouse you to one husband. So he's putting himself in that position. My job is to keep your mind in line with what you're trying to do, what the goal is. The goal is to consummate the marriage.
Right.
You know?
You gotta cross that threshold first, then you gotta.
I'm reading a GNT for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah, you got it. You want.
This is the book of St. John, chapter 3, verse 29 in the GNT. It says, the bridegroom is the one to whom the bride belongs.
Now, when you read this chapter, this was John the Baptist's last written, recorded statements. And basically, John the Revelator is the one who wrote it, but they were saying, you the Messiah, you the Messiah. And John was like, no, I'm not. I'm the one who's responsible for preparing the church for the Messiah. That's basically what he's saying here.
Hey, because like before the king would come into any town, you would have the servants that would come before him and prepare the road, remove like big stones and all that to make sure that the road was passable.
Right.
Like today you have something they call rolling out the red carpet, when the king comes in. So that was pretty much the job of the stewards, the servants, to make sure that everything was set up and ready. When the king came, he didn't have to do nothing.
Prepare the way.
He just had to come in there and receive his glory, his coronation.
And I quote a scripture, Yahweh Shai said this, which I quote the scripture all the time, one of my favorites, man. Blessed is that servant when his master or Lord come and find him so doing. So you just spoke like brother, going back to what you were saying, Jake, come in the truth, you said to further the husband.
Yeah.
Yahweh Shai is our husband.
The wife's
right?
supposed to follow the will of her husband.
Yeah, and how do you do that? King Marshall, one word, serve.
Serve.
Right? Serve. Right? So how are we serving our husband?
Shoot, we out here pushing the work. We're going into the prophecies. We're being those little lights in the world. It's all encompassing. It's everything. Your thought process. How you deal with the other people that are coming up under Yahweh Shah.
Doing the work.
Yeah.
That's what GMS here. What do we push? Doing the work from the top apostle on down. Doing the work. That's why from Apostle Tahar on down here, Elder Yashwan, sometimes he get on y'all brothers about videos. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And that's called being a watchman. We read Ezekiel 33, doing the work. That's why I quoted the scripture, blessed is that servant when his Lord or master come and find him. So doing the work, right?
Yeah.
So that's why brothers got to be on fire for this truth. Serving your husband, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Be on fire for this truth, man. You got to be on fire for this truth, man. You know what I mean? So, real talk, yeah, brothers should be doing videos every day.
Yeah, right.
Even if you got to work on a job, man. I know it sounds, but hey, man, whatever.
You got a lunch break?
God, you could do it like the Apostle Tahar said, man, brother could do a fucking 10-minute video.
Yeah.
I've seen Apostle Tahar do like 5 minutes. I just want to say something real quick, make a point, and be out of there.
Yeah.
Most people, come on, look, man, I'm retired from working. You know, my work now is the ministry. Well, we didn't have plenty of jobs. We worked. Okay, Apostle Tahar worked. Okay, so we know. And even back then, man, we was doing videos, but it wasn't like it's easy now. Never back in the 90s and We used to have to go to the fucking this actual studio and rent the cameras and shit. And we would do videos. We had to build them. We had a school back then. We would do videos, and then the camp. But we had to go rent the fucking equipment, pay for it, rent the cameras, and deal with Esau to get the cameras. And certain times it'd be Satan always. The cameras are out. They're not here. Sometimes we couldn't. You live in them days?
Oh yeah, then the whatever videos you had to go, you had to go to the studio,
Yeah.
produce them, get everything going, and then put them up in the different slots on the, what is that, on the public access?
Yeah.
Public access.
Yeah. Because our videos back in the 90s was actually on TV, public access channel. You know what I mean? We had different nights, and back then, bro, we was always on that shit. So now, it's more so, we got all this technology now. All you gotta do is sit in your living room, in your truck, and we wish we had this back then.
Live. You can go live.
Go live.
You don't gotta do shit.
Yeah, well, that's my thing. I like to go live. I'm not a technical guy. I like uploading the shit. I just go live, and those are my videos.
Hey, remember when YouTube, back when we first started, you had to do 10-minute videos.
Yep.
And then you had to splice them, and you had to go back and find where you was at, and then do the next 10 minutes. And sometimes you get three words in there. I mean, I was a perfectionist. I was like, damn, man. And then the 3 words ain't one of them ain't Yahweh Shai. and when he. No, it's like it, but it's like, man, bro, like that was some. This brother, the one that got on me, the Yashwan was like, man, you still uploading video? Remember we was at your house in the office? He said, you ain't supposed to be doing that, man. One of your brothers do that. I was like, man. He was right though. I couldn't say nothing. I couldn't do nothing but sit there quiet. Yeah, but man, hey, I feel where they coming from. They said they used to have to go rent equipment, man. Hey, but it takes dedication, man. It takes dedication, bro.
And apply what you teach it to.
Yeah.
To your life more. Videos are a beautiful thing, be on fire. But you got a lot of niggas too that be on fire. Niggas be doing all kind of videos, but they be full of shit. So don't think, I just do a whole bunch of videos and hey, Lord, I'm out there, Lord. You gotta be right.
Me and Benai was at camp on Tuesday. You had the guy come up who's been listening to us for a little while. And Benai asked him a question, and you could tell that he got offended. Because we brought out the precept. What precept we brought out? Bearing the cross, right?
Bearing the cross, yeah.
Benai asked me, what does that mean? He said, doing the work. I was like, okay. Yeah, you do the work, but like you said, it encompasses more than just making videos. It encompasses how your conduct in general.
Right.
That switch, niggas that come to camp, they cut the switch on. The switch should never be cut off.
Right.
It's doing the work, but it's like, who are you being every day in, day out? It's not just I just made my lessons, that's it.
I know LD Atazak said this, and it's always stuck with me for years. There's 1,440 minutes in a day. 144. There's 1,440 minutes in one day. So within that day, the Lord has given you time to glorify His name.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's time out there.
Let's get to the scriptures.
Yep. This is the book of John 3:29 back in the GMT, and it says, the bridegroom is the one to whom the bride belongs, but the bridegroom's friend who stands by and listens is glad when he hears the bridegroom's voice.
And he's listening to what the husband wants him to tell the church, tell the bride. He's listening, he will be hella happy. That was he took joy, and I'm gonna relay this message. Because he's the best man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go relay this message to the family of the bride or the bride. You know what I'm saying? And boom.
And I'm pretty sure he was very particular. No, he said exactly this.
Right.
You understand? And it's a lot of people, they bend in the instruction, they bend in the order that the Lord has given us. That's why I'm pretty important.
Right, tell them learn how to make ramen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You like ramen, you know what I'm saying? And she would have to learn that shit.
Yeah.
So when they got together, these would be things that were second nature.
Yeah. So if a woman's all about you, bro, she gonna be all into what you about.
Yeah.
In Revelation 19:10, it says the Lord is about prophecy, right? The spirit of the house is the spirit of prophecy. So those women that we like unto his wife that really belong to him, they're gonna be all into the prophecies. And when you think about all the camps and groups out there, how many of them are really into prophecy? See all these boxes you have to check, and you can eliminate people out the way, like they don't fit it. You see?
That's right. Hey, well, if I may, when you read it in the book of St. John, I believe it's the first chapter when Yahushua finds Nathaniel and Philip. You know, when Yahushua says a prophet indeed and who is no guile, the way Philip responds pretty much is like, this is he who we found who was contained within the prophecies. This is him. And that excitement right there, matter of fact, it was Nathaniel, because Yahushua said pretty much, man, you ain't even seen nothing yet. You know, so again, the point why I'm bringing that out is the excitement that they had, that they found who was contained within the prophecies. You know what I'm saying? They was into it, you know?
You got a woman that's, you know when a woman really into you. She watching everything. She know everything about. That's how the prophet's supposed to be with Yahushua.
Yeah.
These niggas ain't that way.
I'm sorry to disturb y'all, man. Me and the Apostle Ronald was just talking, right? And it ties into what we're talking about here. Because he was just telling me, like for the past about 2 or 3 weeks, up, back in the main camp, Apostle Tahar, and even the Chicago brothers. I guess the weather is really crazy up there, up north, even in the mid. Right? So Apostle Tahar been holding the camp in the house, for the past 3 weeks. Even the Elder Malcolm, because and I know.
In that.
Oh yeah, well you out on that turf. Yeah, sure. But Chicago, boy, I remember the first time. Man. When I first went to Chicago and I went out speaking with them brothers, I thought we was bad in New York. We be out in the cold for years, boy. I didn't feel my head when we left, man. My head was numb out there downtown Chicago, boy. That's back when the original camp leader was there.
Mike Allen.
Mike, right? And I was kind of looking at like we was out there, boy. And I had a low haircut at that time. I couldn't feel my fucking head. And shit. And I was almost looking at him like, yo, Mike, man, it's time to go. I didn't do it, but I wanted to. But I soldiered it out. And then eventually the camp closed. So it's cold. Chicago, I think it's colder than New York. One of them Great Lakes, right, out there in Chicago. But Apostle Ronald said, that's the spirit. Maybe that's the spirit, man, because it seemed like the Lord is kind of starting, and we talked about this, I think. The Lord is, you can see it, the Lord is starting to draw back his spirit from the earth, man. Y'all know what I mean? We represent the spirit of the Lord. Absolutely. So it's getting to a point, bro, that to me that shows that the Lord is we coming up on the time where this is why we are saying what we were saying about being diligent and being the Lord is pretty soon, the Lord gonna draw back teaching.
Yep. Yep.
We ain't gonna be on the streets no more.
You mentioned that when you first got hurt for this leg of your walk. You was like, man, we're not gonna be being out here for no 4 or 5 hours and doing all that. No, we're gonna be out here for a couple of hours. You know what I'm saying? Because back when you first got here, we were still at Main and Ackett. Every weekend it was spicy as hell.
Yes, sir.
To the point where you was like, man, fuck these people. We ain't finna just be out. You know what I'm saying? We're not out here for their entertainment. We're gonna edify who need to be edified, and we're gonna go the fuck home. You know? So, and just this last week when the apostles up top was going in the house, they used to be out there all day. You know what I'm saying? 8, 10 hours out there. You know what I'm saying? Now it's done came down to about the 4 or 5 hours. Now it's down to 2 or 3 hours. So that's spot on with what you're going into.
Well, me and Apostle Ron was talking because he just told me, Apostle Harden, that they ain't been on the streets in the past 3 weeks.
I was watching them on the way here.
They're doing what we're doing now. In the house. Because at this point, bro, even when we're on the streets, we only teaching to the camera. Last night, we were teaching to the camera. And just mingling among, edifying each other. You know what I mean? The niggas on the street, we ain't dealing with it. Y'all saw what we had to deal with last night. Right? Samoa Joe and the troll. You dig what I'm saying? Right? The $2 troll.
Trying to run us off the road.
Yeah, you dig what I'm saying? So we ain't out there to try to, crowds and all that bullshit. We teaching to the camera, really. Because there's brothers on the internet that's watching, you know what I mean? Yeah. So the Lord is starting to draw back. So pretty soon, I said, this nigga Trump, in the next couple of weeks, he coming, and y'all been seeing, and y'all know I saw the chariot last night. I saw it, Wamba.
Before the king.
Because remember, I was, on the other side of the king, yeah.
So we both saw it.
Yeah, we both saw it. I looked, but, at the moment, you be doubting.
Yeah,
You be like, see, that's a plane. It's probably a plane. Like, your mind, that's a plane, nigga. You ain't a chariot, nigga. There's a demon in your mind, nigga, you ain't seen a chariot. That's a plane, nigga. Stop it. Like a demon, right?
You ain't that special.
Right? So that's why I didn't say nothing. Brothers said, bro, I saw a chariot, brother. Like Jake, but it was. And I thought about it, because it went behind the building and shit.
And it disappeared behind the building.
It disappeared behind the building. And it was moving too fast to be a plane.
It was super bright.
It was super bright. It wasn't no blinking. It was like a bright blue light.
Hey, the one you saw on camera, that wasn't nothing compared to how you
I
actually
saw it.
It was like super bright. It was like almost like a star that was coming.
Yeah, like a star moving in the sky. And it wasn't, because you could tell the planes, because you can see the little blinking lights. But planes move a certain way. Them planes, they go, but the plane, you can tell it's a plane. That motherfucker. So, hey, Barakatah, how about you? Allowed me to see it. And then y'all said the brother on the comment, the brothers on the comment board saw it.
Hey, the crazy thing is, I was looking, man, like, I ain't nobody, y'all. I'm just a brother that's trying to live right, but I was looking back. Before the chariot came, I was looking back, and then Elder Ariana saw, he real observer. He saw me looking back, and he looked back, and I said, oh no, I'm just looking for a chariot, because it's too spiritual out here for a chariot not to fly by. And you can ask him yourself.
I believe.
But he was like, you did say that. It was a real spiritual night. Hey man, that showed you like brother's spirits was turned up in the camp last night. It was as powerful as it was like, man, it was like my brain was on like high def. I was like receiving things at a faster rate. It was like everything. It was like brothers talking, multiple brothers talking, but it was like, man,
it was in order.
It was clear, bro. Like, and like I can't explain it. It was like clear. It was like everything was like. Hey, Lord, I'm sorry. No, the Lord is heightening things, man. Hey, because when your mind becomes clear, it's because the message is more desperation than the message. Hey, that's a sign of the Lord's mercy, bro. When your mind is open to receive, and your man, bro, that's a blessing, bro. The Lord ain't dealing with everybody like that.
Yeah.
But it was like last night. Like, of course I go to camp, sometimes I don't feel like it, but when I get there, the scriptures come back, I feel like I'm healed. But it was different last night. It was a different spirit.
Yeah, we was amped up to come to camp, man.
Yeah.
Couldn't wait, like, we was like, it was a whole, some special brothers are here, man, and Apostle Ramla was here. So anytime I get back around, my other peers, man, I always get more amped up in the spirit. You know what I mean? When we all get together, whether I get together with this apostle or all four of us are back together again, my spirit is more turned up. You know what I mean? Hey man, so you know what I mean? We getting close to the end, bro. And this dude Trump, next month he coming in, the 20th? He come in, he done already fucking told you what he gonna do. He coming with some draconian shit. The chariots, all over the place showing. It was on the news. It was on the fucking news. They saying it's drones. But Trump, I watched it on the news the other morning. Trump himself said, look, no, I don't believe that. I don't believe it was drones. I know what it is. He actually said it. I watched it. He said, I know what it is. And you know what? But I can't wait to get in because I'm going to put stuff to protect us. Basically, Trump was, we know there ain't no such thing as aliens, but he basically, I got what he was saying.
Yeah, they're putting people's minds in fear of something coming from the heavens. And so they could do some type of fake alien shit and have people and justify shit. They're looking for justification for bringing the hammer down. That's basically what it is all about.
Everywhere. They want to control everything. The airspace, the moon,
everything.
Venus, planets.
Another thing I want to throw out there, being that you said that, Y'all all in here know, especially you younger brothers, y'all know Esau never went to the moon, right?
Right.
Y'all know that, right?
Yes, sir.
He never got past the atmosphere, really. That's all. Hollywood and bullshit. Okay, they're little, because there's two atmospheres, there's two, what's the word, I forgot. The heavens, like, the heavens are firmament. There's two, there's like a lower firmament, he went past that, but he hasn't really gone outside of the Earth's atmosphere, really.
Right.
All them satellites and space stations, that's really just kind of hovering right outside of the Earth itself, at a certain level in space. But that motherfucker in deep in space, they got certain telescopes that can kind of look and see certain shit, but these devils are lying too. They gaslighting, man. They ain't really got the power that you think they got, but they do to a degree. They was able to take the shit and go up there.
Yeah, the miracles.
Yeah, yeah.
They got power on the left hand side, but it's limited. They're not gonna attain Godhead like we gonna have on earth.
Right.
And there's a serious radiation belt around the earth. Yeah, to keep the outer atmosphere from coming into the inner atmosphere and vice versa. Because the Lord set everything up perfect. You know, and that radiation belt is set up, if anything's coming in, it just gets destroyed by that radiation belt.
Right.
Because they were even discussing that, okay, well, when you went to the moon, did you go past the Van Allen belt? You know, how did you do that? Okay, you did that back in '69, but you can't do that now. Technology as great as it is today.
Right.
You know, you had little AA Duracell batteries back then, and now you got this lithium batteries you can't get out there. Why ain't they trips going to the moon, right?
By now?
Yeah.
By now, it should be like Star Trek.
Yeah. And they scared. And they found another solar system where they said planet-sized material is moving in like they're planet-sized chariots, bro. And they said they had a black box-looking chariot went into the sun, bro. Like, man, hey, they dealing with some shit. They notice, hey, that's why the scriptures say, knowing he had but a short time, because he's seeing the power that's beyond his comprehension. That motherfucker looking at that big ass hat, think he got $10 million satellite. He's scared to look at the motherfucker because he's like, some shit up there gonna come get me.
Brother, chariots. Esau is seeing chariots, the Lord is letting him see. The Lord gave him certain technology, like Elder Wambach said, it's limited. But the Lord giving them certain, that's that witchcraft. Otherwise, it can gain you. They've seen chariots out there floating around the size of the earth.
Hey, they shut down the James Webb telescope.
Yeah.
They shut it down. Why would you do that? You know, it's like a real expensive telescope because they scared. They looking out there and they seeing some shit. Yeah, that's doing what they can't do. They don't want to see it. And then on top of that, we don't get access to that. Hey, these motherfuckers gonna try to kill us, man. Hey, we ain't got access to that, but the Spirit is putting it on us to say, hey, this is the Lord's shit, this is what comes. And they starting to see that what we were saying. Hey, when we first got out there, the white man wasn't scared like that. Because he wasn't seeing what we was talking about. And now he's seeing it, the whole shit with Russia. Hey, like, they scared.
Right.
These motherfuckers are scared. They're gonna do something. Now they looking at our videos. They probably watching us right now. They're trying to use what we're saying against us. Hey, they don't believe the hype, man. This motherfucker got Project Bluebeam, like the elder said earlier. They gonna try to fake some shit and lure you into some shit. But hey, man, when the Lord comes, everybody gonna know. Ain't gonna be just no shit in the sky. You gonna feel it. You gonna feel it.
This is why
be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. So don't worry about nothing, man. Hey, brother, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Even if some of us gotta die, like remember the scripture say that, or we gotta be in prison, don't be afraid of that. I mean, I know it's easier said than done when you're in that situation, but hey, man, eternal life or fuck the Lord over that. What the Lord gonna give you is worse. Right? Because if you deny the Lord, you could die. But then guess what? Y'all know according to the scriptures, when Yahweh shall come back, your dead is gonna be raised up, some to everlasting life sometimes has destruction. Like all these wicked ass motherfuckers that's dying, they're not off the hook. See, years ago, I used to, you know, this was years ago, when I was still coming up and learning, I thought, okay, you know, we all thought that. We thought that like the 2/3, and so if you're the 2/3 and you die, you good. Because we just thought they was just gonna come back in the kingdom. No. All these 2/3 niggas that died, that have died for decades, right? They're gonna be raised back up to be put to death all over again. Taste the missiles.
Yeah, they gotta partake in the lake.
That justifies them coming back in the kingdom. Like the Lord's judgment is gonna be enough.
Damn, that's fucked up, man. No, it's not fucked up. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to have to go through that.
Right.
Like, here it is, you gotta die. Like, Pookie get shot in the head. Right? Pop! You die a horrible death, some nigga. Pop, pop. Oh, shit.
Yeah, the sting of
Right? And then you go back to the spirit world, but in the spirit world, he good. He's an Israelite. You happy, you in the presence of Yahweh, you chilling, you at peace. Then all of a sudden, the Lord like, okay, nigga, time to go. The Lord pull your spirit back into the earth and rematerialize that body you died in. And you come back and see the missiles coming.
Damn. Oh, that's torture. That's torture.
Why do the scriptures say the Lord is the king of terror?
And you could die right before the missiles come. And you could die, you know, right before the missiles come back. If you're born in this world, just and grow up old enough just to know what terror is, so the Lord can kill you again.
So that goes to show you them dudes that's talking about the way that the 2/3 is gonna be reborn in the kingdom. Jake mad like that ain't gonna be enough. They ain't suffer enough for you. Like,
you know what? I used to, you know, I had to ask the Lord for forgiveness. Cause you know, so we get our own emotions sometimes, man. I used to kind of feel that way, man. I used to kind of feel that way, but hey, man, how about you? I was trying to do. I ain't gonna. I was in my feelings, man. You know, a couple of years back, you stuff out enough.
Man,
they've been losing your mind and shit, crying.
Like the scriptures say, wait, nobody knows the mind of the Most High.
Right.
His judgment is gonna be enough. Whatever he has set for the wicked, it's gonna cover what needs to be covered.
Let's get a few more scriptures.
Right now.
Get a few more scriptures, bro.
I got one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Matthew chapter 10 and verse 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both the body and the soul in hell. Which basically that's the fire, man. Right? So we already know who's the him. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. He's the Father of spirits. He's able to put you in situations that you can't control and have you suffer things according to your past transgressions. You know?
I want you to break that down extensively. You gotta explain to brothers that might not understand what does it mean by kill the soul. You gotta break it down and explain it.
Kind of killing the soul. Well, you know, I get the word.
Because souls don't die.
Right. You know, I get the word because ultimately torment. You know, ultimately is judgment. You know, your spirit is eternal. You can't. Your spirit lives. Your body dies, but your spirit lives on. But you can ultimately be tormented to the point where, I mean, it's unfathomable. You know, we can't really describe it. Like it's going to be that bad.
It can feel like 3 years and 2 seconds.
And the Lord will judge you when you. This is the last time we're gonna come back in this flesh. But the Lord has the power. He has the power to judge you when you come back, man.
Yeah.
We catching hell and judgments for shit we done in our past lives, man.
Yeah, it says that word for kill is Strong's G615. It says apotaino. All right. It says to kill or to destroy or to allow to perish, to extinguish, or to abolish. Okay. So I mean, basically, if you without the hedge of protection, that's a mental, like the amount of emotional stress that people are gonna face on top of the physical is gonna be a huge judgment in itself.
Yeah. And the scriptures speak about what is that? The sting of death. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord, like you could die and think, oh, I died easy, but the Lord can see you through some shit. You know, before you receive your spirit, you know, Lord can intensify. Like the Lord created pain. The Lord created, you know, the idea of suffering. The Lord can magnify your shit. You know, to the point where you feel like, yeah, if I get a little bullet in the head, I'm just gone. Hey, man, they could embalm you, put your body in the ground. The Lord can trap you in that situation, feeling that pain for what feels like eternity. Hey, if you ever been in jail for 1 or 2 days, it feels like you've been in there 3 weeks.
I can relate to that, man.
You know, like, man, the Lord can intensify, you know?
It ain't Titus.
Yeah, I was just.
What else I got?
He can take you through like a situation where you just see somebody have a wreck, but who knows, like right before the impact, like the angel could just be sitting there talking to your ass, showing you how all the bullshit you did,
Man,
you know what I'm saying, slapping you, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's just, bro, and you just got, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's all we see, but we don't know. What's associated, you know what I'm saying? They say your life flashed before your eyes.
What's that old saying? Your arms are too short to box with God.
Right.
Like that movie Click.
Yep. So we looked at that word trim in Matthew 25:7, right? Going into, you know, they were walking in order. And the honor, all right, is associated with that. Okay? So we went into the chariots and being, you know, out the way, coming into the Lord's chambers in Matthew 25, where it talks about the virgins coming into the chambers. I would go read somebody got Isaiah 26 and 20 real quick. And then we'll go to Numbers 3 and get that example of what'll happen to you. Another example of what'll happen to you, man, when you walk in this disorderly fashion.
Yep.
And then that'll be it.
Because that's what we're trying to get. We're trying to get to the secret chamber. And that's where a marriage is consummated. And that's the chariot.
See? Somebody got it? Isaiah 26 and 20.
This is Isaiah chapter 26 and verse 20. It says, come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee.
All right, enter thou into thy chambers, meaning to be taken up into that chariots. Now the spirits that has to be raised back up and experience that fire like Apostle was going into, they're not gonna get to enter into those chambers.
No.
How do you, what does it take to be eligible to go up and be out the way? You gotta be subscribing to the order. You got your daily sacrifice. You mentioned 144 minutes in a day.
You gotta be prepared.
You gotta be prepared. So how are you live? Go ahead.
No, make one.
So how are you are you being an example of Yahweh on the earth every day, all day? Are you just being, you know, a brother when you come around us? You know?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to add on to the point because you have the chambers that can also be likened into the blood being on the doorposts. Remember that during the Passover, we had to have the blood on our doorposts, and we had to remain in the house while that death angel passed through. And then, you know, we couldn't leave. That covering was the blood. See what I'm saying? So having the blood of Yahweh Shah upon our doorposts, which are minds, you know, that which is that wah in Ezekiel 9. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to cover us, man. Just like Noah, when the angel had to literally seal him into the ark, the angel had to close the door.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's the same process now. We're readying ourselves for that coming destruction so that we can actually be protected and safe. You know, out the way, like you said.
Yeah. So it's finished Isaiah 26 and 20.
Continuing on in the middle of verse 20, it says, hide thyself as it were for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed.
Yeah, because this place is going to be burnt up. But up until that point, Zephaniah 2 and 3, seek righteousness, seek meekness, so you may be hid in the day of the Lord's anger.
I was just thinking that when you said it, bro. Like, hey, we don't have to fear that, man. You know, because we had the Lord put the Spirit in us to do this work. You know, so as long as we endure to the end, bro, we don't have to fear that. You know, these people gonna have to fear. Right now, the reason why we fear so much right now is so we don't have to fear. When the Spirit of the Lord come upon us and take that feeling away, and the world is at fear. These people don't fear. They walking around here every day, man, like just smiling. Going, yeah, I'm positive vibes only. You know, are we scared to fucking death? Yeah. You know, but it's spiritual, man. Like, you know, the Lord is going to reverse that. The Lord is going to give us peace, and He's going to put fear on everybody else. You know, this fear is a survival. It's like a survival tactic, bro. Like, man, if you got the fear of the Lord on you, that keeps you in line, bro. You know, these people, they don't fear nothing. I ain't never scared.
Oh, boy. Let the blue and red lights come on.
Yeah, call for another scripture too, right?
Yeah, I got one more.
Bring that. After that one, I say one more you can read. I want you to bring it out. Read your scripture, and then I got one more to throw. I think it's appropriate to end this off with.
All right. So again, we're gonna get Numbers 3 and verse 4 just to see what's the end of a man who doesn't fear order. All right. The Lord gave us an order to follow, and somebody who disregards that, what is going to be their end? You got it.
Kind of start from the top on that and read down the floor just to establish their positions, or just to go straight to it?
You can, whatever you feel is best.
Okay, I'm gonna start from the top. Just read through it real quick. Numbers chapter 3, verse 1. It says, "These also are the generations of Aaron and Moses in the day that the Lord spake with Moses in Mount Sinai. And these are the names of the sons of Aaron: Nadab the firstborn, and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar. These are the names of the sons of Aaron, the priests which were anointed, whom he consecrated to minister in the priest's office."
So you step into this thing, you've been anointed, right? To do this work. Bro, if you step out of line, you free game for the Lord to get your ass out of there.
Yeah.
Take into account what you're a part of. Go ahead.
Gone, verse 4, the point. "And Nadab and Abihu died before the Lord, when they offered strange fire before Yahweh in the wilderness of Sinai."
So they offered up a strange fire, but when you go to NIV, it says unauthorized. It wasn't on the Lord's command.
Right.
All right, so you doing shit in this ministry, you putting gimmicks in the forefront of the ministry, you doing things that the Lord didn't command you to do. He gonna get your ass out of there. You understand?
The Most High smell that cheap ass incense.
That shit ain't it.
It's messing all the good stuff up.
Yeah.
Like gravel.
Yeah.
Get that out of here. Get that out of here.
So that was the last example I wanted to get to show you when you choose this order, what is your end gonna be? See? Apostle, you have
A little more to this verse.
Read the rest of that.
It says, "And they had no children, and Eleazar and Ithamar ministered in the priest's office in the sight of Aaron their father." So other ones was put in their stead after they disobeyed the Lord's will.
Yes.
And the Lord put other ones in those positions to offer those fires instead. And that ended up being the progeny, of the priesthood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The priesthood came out to Ithamar and Eleazar.
Lord don't need you, nigga.
Right.
And just on the cool, what? All the brothers in here that been in here for a while, you know what I'm saying? You witnessed a change in leadership. All of us have. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing to keep in mind too. You know what I'm saying? All of us done been through that, so we can teach it. You know what I'm saying? We done seen that change in leadership. You just read it. The Lord will move you out of the way to put somebody else right there, man. You know, and you gotta fear that. Because what I'm saying, when the Lord moves you out of the way, what is he actually doing? He's literally moving you out the fucking way. You know what I'm saying? So whatever that moving out of the way is for whatever particular brother, you know?
Yeah. So that was it on that point. Apostle, I know you have one.
Numbers 13 and 11. I think that's a perfect scripture to end it off with.
I can read it for you if you want to break it.
Okay, fine.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11. It says, "And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep."
Yeah, we getting closer to that threshold of the kingdom of heaven being established. It's time to really lock in. We should already be locked in, but we need to hyper focus on what the mission is about. Your day to day really needs to be centered around the ministry, centered around fulfilling what the Lord has set you here to do. This ain't the time to kind of, I'm gonna kick back. No, we need to be locked in. We get closer to that time. It's about to be game time.
Right. What's that song? My man, back in the days, the old rap. These young brothers wouldn't know that song. Dougie Fresh. Then my ain't no half stepping. Cool in the shade, some lemonade. This is the jam, but we in that spirit of the Dougie Fresh spirit. Cool in the shade, getting laid, sipping on lemonade.
It says, I'll read it again. It says, "And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe."
I did a lesson a while back called complacency will get you killed, man. You can't get complacent. Hey, when we was in the war, bro, the more people that died was when we was about to go home, because you know why? They started leaving the plates out of their vests. They started leaving the extra ammo that they needed, because I'm going home in a couple of weeks. And the most people died before the rotation back home. Because they was carrying half their tools, you know, wasn't carrying their binoculars, leaving the scope dirty on the gun. So when they go to look in it, they can't see shit. Like, hey, a second you can get killed, bro. You know, hey, it's gonna be the same this time. Hey, before the Lord come back, hey, and you had enough time, you get complacent. You like he said, sit back, chill. You know, do too less, do too much, and then you get caught out there.
Right.
You know.
Grind to the end.
Yeah.
Did not Yahushua said, "I come as a thief."
Right.
He said, if the good man of the house had known what time his house would be robbed, he would have kept watch. For he know not what time the thief come. And Yahushua said, I'm coming like a thief. So, like, that's why I asked you to bring out Romans 13 and 11, which is a good, y'all brought it out in the camp a week or so ago, right? Like, so that's why, basically, and then like the Apostle Paul said, he is exhorting men to do as he does. You remember in the scripture, the Apostle Paul said what? I wish that y'all could all be like me. Not because he was proud, but it was like, look, just be diligent, you know, and pretty much the same spirit is on the Apostle Tahar, Apostle Tahar on down. You know what I mean? To exhort brothers to be diligent. But then it gets to a point too where the Apostle Tahar said this too. He said, look man, I done told Jacob to do. Jacob's grown men. He said, you motherfuckers are grown men. Like, look man, I'm not worried about me. You know?
Yeah, you gotta stay ready so you don't gotta get ready. You know, when I was still playing ball heavy, you get somebody, a coach calls you for a job, you know what I mean? You gotta go somewhere and play. There's a lot of dudes that play professional sports. On their off season, they get fat, they chilling, they get that call all of a sudden, oh, we need you over here in 48 hours. Playoffs getting ready to start. We got a guy that's hurt, we're gonna pay you this amount of money, you ready? And they out of shape, and they get over there and they be like, fuck this guy, send him back home. And they never get a job again.
Damn. Man.
You're supposed to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That's what the apostle's going into.
Do the work, man. Be diligent, man. Be diligent. That's it, man. That's
it. That's all I had.
That was it. The water. The water for bringing out the Romans. I just wanted to throw that in there with the two that you.
Anybody else got any one, or we good? What we doing? Nobody? All right. So with that being said, man, once more, we're going to give all praise to the Most High.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Akakodash.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders and the bishops. I want to say shalom to all the brothers and of course the few sisters pursuing this truth and sincerity. And the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom.
Shalom.